What's up, sneakerheads? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Nature. Let's rewind it back a little bit to when Jerry Lorenzo, Mr. Fear God himself, and Adidas made the announcement that they were going to be in partnership. Now, but hey, let me tell you something. I was super excited, just like a lot of people in the sneaker world were, because we were thinking about what he did when he was at Nike. Well, this was the first model we got, which was the Fear God Athletic 1 basketball shoe that retailed for a price of $250 that left a lot of people, let's just say, disappointed. But this model here may change things a lot, but is it too late for Jerry Lorenzo and that partnership with Adidas? This is going to be the Fear of God Athletic 2 high top basketball sneaker. Now, we've all been late for something before, whether it's been work, school, our own wedding, and for me, sometimes late taking the trash out at night, and I'm trying to get up early to go chase the truck down, and I miss it. But one thing I do know is that trash, man, is going to be running again. I just need to be prepared. Now, in this case with Adidas and Jerry Lorenzo with Fear of God, is it too late to save this partnership? Now, it's been a lot of chatter about it online, and you've seen it in a lot of blogs for sneakers, and I don't know if that's really the case or really what's going on, but it's kind of servicing based off what I've just heard. Now, I'm not going to try to persuade you today that this one particular sneaker right here is going to save the Adidas and Fear of God relationship, if that's what we're calling it, or partnership, I should say. But today I'm going to break down why I think this shoe is such an amazing build, and also I'm going to talk about the quality of the materials, and we're going to look at it to see how it looks on foot and why I think it's probably one of the most comfortable models that Adidas may have released this year. Now, before we get into the quality of materials used on this particular itself on the Athletic 2 model basketball shoe versus the one, let's look at the build of each one of these sneakers. Now, I kind of prefer the build of what we have here in the Athletic 2 versus what we have in the Athletic 1. Now, breaking it right back from heel to heel, this sneaker is going to be almost an inch higher in height due to the high strap that you'll actually have on the shoe. But I didn't favor the Fear of God one athletic shoes because it just felt like almost like a mid Jordan type style. Now when you put your feet inside them, as you'll see, the creaminess of the translucent sole, semi-translucent sole, is kind of higher up in arch, which kind of made your feet feel a little weird in this type of shoe. And the material that was used on this particular build with this TPCU that wraps all the way around the back portion back to the front portion of the sneaker itself was kind of rigid, rough. It didn't allow your foot to move that much, and the breathability in this build was not good at all. Now, looking at the build of this shoe, of course, the materials, which we'll talk about in a second, but the build is sloped up, giving you a little bit higher arch, but you're going to have a better flow going towards the front portion of the toe, which when putting your foot inside this sneaker is going to give you a great feel on this particular build itself. I like the way they redid the front portion of the toe box right here. It's a little bit slightly wider, and you have a little bit more space on the top portion of the toe versus the top portion of the flatness of the Fear of God 1 Athletic. The 2s, you get a little bit more height, which gives you more room and more ways to move your foot around inside of this build. Now, looking towards the back end portion of this shoe, one thing that you will notice is you have a little bit more width for us the back portion of the heel too. Now I'll pick up both shoes so you can see them. You can see the difference in the heel from each sneaker, this being the 1 and this being the 2, and you can almost tell right off when you put your foot inside of the shoe. You'll be able to feel a difference in that. Now for us the quality for us the front, let's turn these around. You'll be able to look at it. It's just the build of this is like the 1 was almost incomplete. When they did these, it was almost like they were incomplete, and it was like they had time to perfect it. With this model here is so many different things for us. The wideness in the bottom portion right here towards the front of the foot versus the width of the front portion here versus the width being here. Look at them side by side. Look at that difference in width. And right off, you can tell, you know, the completeness of this shoe versus almost like a beta phase of the one model. So enough about the build, let's talk about the details of material and how great they are on this particular model. Now we're gonna move these aside, so let's focus on the materials that we have on the Fear God Athletic High 2s. Now the luxury materials that you actually have here feel so good to the touch of the hand. And let me go ahead and throw that out of there so this doesn't give it our way while we're doing a review. But the materials, guys, feel so good on this shoe in comparison to, I'll take this tissue out, to how hard and stiff it was on the Fear God 1 Athletics. The 2s are crafted so much better. Guys, this smoothness and feel of this premium suede is worthy of the price tag, which was released for $220. But a lot of people was able to cop this shoe for almost $100 off, which I'll explain next. So right now, finishing the materials, the suede on here feels absolutely delicate, premium to a very high line type cloth itself used with that. Now in the middle where you see the stripes, guys, the Adidas stripes, there's going to be a monofilament, which is a breathable type material that's used and stretched on this shoe. So inside of the sneaker itself, it almost has like a sock-like material. So I'll unstrap this. Let's pull this over here. And right on the inside, it's going to have almost what you'll find in some of the mono Yeezys, where it had almost like the cone type texture. But right here, guys, you can see it is stretchable and it's almost like a soft sock that's inside of the shoe, giving you an awesome feel when you put your feet inside of it. So not only that, you got the premium suede, you got the breathability of the monofilament being on there, on top of what we have here in the midsole, which is going to be lightstrike. Now this lightstrike comfort sole has been used in a lot of Adidas products, numerous basketball shoes and running shoes. And guys, let me tell you something, it is almost heaven on the bottom of your foot. And I'm so glad to see them actually displaying it on this particular shoe. Now, also, as we turn around, you're going to have your semi-translucent creamy white sole being here, and the texture color at the top is going to be called, if I'm not mistaken, I think let's check and see, I can't remember the top name portion. It's going to be a night brown colorway, so they call it a night brown. But in the inside, as you'll see on this graph that I'll put to the side for you guys on the screen, it's going to have a TPCU shank that's in the inside, which offers a lot of spring and bounce in reflection to direction where this shoe is going to be moved. So that's going to be a great thing for a basketball shoe, having that piece that's right in the middle of it. So not only you're going to get the protection far as the comfort on your feet, but the TPCU shank, anytime it feels any kind of absorbent or bounce, it reacts to it and gives you a little bit more spring while you're on the basketball court. And I'm going to be super excited to see how this performs. Working around to the front, guys, we are going to have the Adidas. Let me move my face out the way. The Adidas emboss going to be right there, and you're going to have it once again on the back portion of the bubble of the shoe at the top, and you're going to have the Fear God being right there on the back portion of the heel. Now looking at the waviness and the beautiful bottom of the sneaker, you're going to see here, and I think the way they did this is absolutely awesome. It almost gives you the mind frame of a fingerprint, and if thinking correctly, I don't think I'm overthinking by any means, but I feel like this should have been the one. And I think with Jerry Lorenzo and Adidas, just like you'll find a fingerprint where you can find your DNA, I should say, or identity. I totally messed that up. Where you can probably find your identity on a thumb or finger itself. I think this is the identity of what Fear God and Adidas wants to come across on their particular shoe. Going to be able to, I should say, express a lot more of the details of how it feels when you put your foot inside of the shoe. And with one thing that correlates that's going to be great, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I would try to open it up here. Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to see it, but I'm going to put it on the clip so you guys will see it right here on the bubble to the side. But on the inside, it has almost like an ankle bump right here and it feels very good to the hand. And once I put it on foot, I'll kind of explain to you what kind of feeling you should expect when you put your foot inside of this, for the difference in somebody with a high arch and probably no arch on their foot at all. But before we do that, guys, I want to send a shout out to all of my subscribers. Thank you. This past week, guys, we had up to 40 to 50 people subscribe to the channel. So I do appreciate you guys. Keep dropping your comments, what you guys want to see, what you like, and what you think about the shoes, most importantly. And I totally appreciate it. I value you guys' opinion, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Now, guys, before we step outside for this on-foot look, let's talk about how this release looked. This release was absolutely phenomenal, and I say that with a big, beautiful cheese on my face, guys, because I was able to get this sneaker for 40% off. Now, this particular sneaker did launch on December the 5th or 6th. I'm not for sure in particular, but I think it was December the 6th. It released on Adidas, and I got up, and I can tell you guys, I looked at it on the website and I seen the retail price for $200. And at first I was like, man, I don't know, because I had such a bad experience with the Fear God ones. And even though I did like them, because I'm a huge fan of Adidas and Jerry Lorenzo anyway, I was kind of just sitting there like, oh man, God, I shouldn't do it. So what I did was I simply added it to cart, right? And Capital One has this checkout feature thing, and it started going through all these codes, going through all the codes. So once it went through the codes, Cyber popped up in all caps. And boom, I was like, oh my God, that's 40% off. 40 freaking percent off, guys. I saved almost up to $100 on buying this particular shoe. If I'm not mistaken with taxes, it was around $118, $113. I can't remember exactly, but I'll have it in the corner for you guys. So I was able to save a ton of money and made this purchase feel a lot better. Now, one thing I think it really helped with Fear of God and Adidas was a lot of people was able to use this code on adidas.com. They forgot to deactivate the cyber code for this exclusive product, but it ended up helping. I think this sneaker got in the hands of a lot of people that normally wouldn't have purchased it for the $200 plus taxes. So somewhere around $220, they would have never got to experience this shoe. Enough of that, guys. Let's head outside so we can put these bad boys on feet. Let's go. All right, guys, we are not outside. The sun is out, so you guys are going to be able to get a great look at these bad boys here. And for the sake of just Fear of God, I decided to put on the whole Nike Fear of God Fit basketball when it first came out. Yeah, I know it's blasphemy with having Nike and Adidas on top, but I paid for it, so I don't care. Let's look at these things on foot. All right, guys, so let's put these bad boys on, and I want to unstrap them and show you guys myself putting them on and how easy they are. The laces are phenomenal, of course. I love how the laces are on the Fear of Gods. That thick rope is awesome. But other than that, I just wanted to show you guys how easy they are to put on. I think I freaking still got the paper inside these things. Yep, I still got the paper inside of these things. So let's get that pulled out. Go one by one. So let's go with the first one here. Not sitting down, I'm still standing up. And you can see how this sock material stretches for you too. The foot is in. The foot is in, guys. Look at, ooh wee, look how good them things look. Let me move my flops out the way. But guys, these things look crazy. I don't care what anybody says. These things look crazy. All right, guys, you're gonna love the material. The sock material that's on the inside of this shoe. It feels so good. And this back bump portion on the inside feels great also. I think I'm gonna leave the strap out. But these are unlaced, so you guys can see them unlaced. Let me do this side. Yep. So that's unlaced on both. Man, these things are crazy clean. Look at the inside there. Outside again. Crazy clean. Ooh wee. Look at them things, boy. Yeah, so that's how they look unlaced. I like the way they look unlaced. But let's go ahead and lace them up for the sake of that, so you guys can see. Let's go ahead and lace them up. Man, everything is just so easy with this shoe. Everything is so easy. Go ahead and lace these bad boys up. Take the strap through the hole here. Bam, I'm in. This is crazy, man. Love these shoes. And the comfort of them is what I'm going to talk about next. My feet is inside this. I'm a size 10. So these are true to size. You don't have to worry about feeling the shoe that's too narrow at the front. You got to go a half size up. Anything like that at all. They just fit perfect. The bottom sole and the cushion with this lightstrike is awesome, guys. You're gonna love the comfort of the shoe, pressing down on the back heel, the front toe. Everything just looks good. Great absorbent. I can't wait to hoop in these, and pressing down the back heel just feels comfortable too. Now, one thing I was talking about was the bump that's on the inside around the back portion of his ankle. Guys, it's gonna make your ankle feel, whether you're flat-footed or you have an arch, it's gonna feel very good. So no complaints are going to be there, but this is it laced up, guys. Let me know how they look. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Adidas, you killed it with these. You did a phenomenal job. These are absolutely awesome. Now, let me shut up so you guys can look at them from now in the sun back to with a little shade. Fear God and Adidas has probably made the Fear God Athletic 2 should have been the 1. I think this is a final product of what the 1 should have looked like. Speaking on the build of this shoe is absolutely phenomenal, and what you would want out of a Fear God shoe, far as in height, the stature, the width, the form of the sneaker, even going into the materials. The materials are very, very high line. Going from the bottom, you have the beautiful semi-translucent sole. You got the lightness strike material being on the inside from Adidas, the TPCU shank, who gives you a very, very great response for its bounce and absorbance. The premium suede materials, the ventilation as far as the breathability with the Adidas strike, the strap, the material on the sock on the inside is great. There are so many awesome things I can tell you about this shoe. Now, is it going to be enough to save the relationship with Adidas and Fear God? I do not know, guys. But if they listen to some reviews, and if there are any reviews other than mine out there on this particular shoe that breaks down the details of the shoe, they will actually see that they have something with this shoe. This can take them to another level. And for Jerry Lorenzo and Adidas to both get their respects back when it comes to putting out a phenomenal partnership, this is going to be A1. On foot, it is absolutely amazing. I'm going to rate this shoe an easy 10 out of 10 once you put it on. It fits true to size, and you don't have to play the mystery game on figuring out what size works for you. Whether it's laced up or unlaced, in which I prefer the unlaced, This sneaker is going to provide not only a luxury stylish look, but when you lace it up, strap that strap up, and I have issues with my Achilles, you'll be able to have the feel and the function of actually taking the grounds and go put up some buckets. Adidas, Jerry Lorenzo, this product is amazing. Hope you guys listen to the reviews or people like me to let you know where you're going. And if you stay on this same trajectory, it will be extremely high. I'm Nature Boy Chuck, guys. Thanks for watching this review. I will see you on the next one. Until then, peace.